Oh, hello. Chair is broken, so I've got this one to try and fix the broken thing, which actually is relevant to today's video because earlier this week, Wizards of the Coast announced a brand new booster pack would not only be hitting shelves starting with Murders at Karlov Manor, but that this new booster pack would be replacing both draft and set boosters. This was done for many reasons, the biggest being that, overwhelmingly, people were buying set boosters and not buying draft boosters to the point that set booster pack sales eclipsed draft booster pack sales by a lot. So much, in fact, that Mark Rosewater said, if we didn't do anything, draft boosters were going away. This whole change was to save drafting and other limited formats. Now, this comment got a lot of attention, and I'll have some thoughts on it and the larger picture that I'll discuss in just a moment, but it's important to note that Rosewater clarified on this comment, saying, "We do a lot of future forecasting. Had trends continued the way they were going, we believed the draft booster were in danger of going away due to market forces. No one in Wizards/Hasbro was trying to get rid of limited play." And there is, of course, a complete article by Rosewater going over all of this in detail, again, linked in this video's description. I encourage you to read it for full context. So again, this isn't about anyone considering that draft was going to go away. It's the issue that people simply weren't buying draft boosters and were instead buying set boosters. So now, play boosters are replacing both and seek to combine the best of both. Just like set boosters, play boosters will have a chance at multiple rares per pack, up to 4 in fact, as well as booster fun alternate art treatments and cards from the list, all while being 100% draftable. And that is the huge difference, because you could not properly draft with set boosters. It would not provide a proper draft experience, and with play boosters, even with these multiple rares per pack, you can draft with it. It is intended to provide a proper draft experience. So actually, you can look at this change one of two ways. You can think of it as play boosters are replacing set and draft boosters, or perhaps you can look at it as set and draft boosters are combining to create play boosters. Now, it is worth noting that the price of play boosters will be the same as set boosters, which are more expensive than draft boosters. So that means the price of draft, the price of sealed, the price of a booster box, and even the price of pre-release events will be going up. Wizards of the Coast has been very upfront about this rise in price, though of course not upfront enough to tell us exactly what we should expect to pay for a pre-release event, a draft, or even so much as a single play booster pack, just as it's intended to be the same as whatever it was we were paying for a set booster pack, as again, play boosters will be priced the same as set boosters. Why not price them the same as draft boosters? Well, Rosewater was pretty blunt on his blog in saying that, yeah, why would they charge less when you have demonstrated that you'll pay more? So the cost of everything from draft to pre-release is going up, but will play boosters provide the support to those ways to play enough so that it will be worth it for that extra pay? Well, I have a lot of thoughts about these changes, but before I get to that, just what even is in these new play boosters? Play boosters contain 14 cards with 1 non-playable card. There are 8 slots in a play booster, which are as follows: 6 commons, 1 additional common, or sometimes, in this place, a card from the list. So most of the time this will actually be the 7th common, but when a card from the list shows up, it shows up here. 3 uncommons, 1 wild card. This card can be almost anything from the main set. It can be any rarity, including mythic. The wild card will, however, always be non-foil. 1 rare or mythic from the main set, 1 foil of any rarity. This is actually just like the wild card slot, except the card is guaranteed to be foil. 1 basic land, and of course that 1 non-playable card, which can be a token, a play aid, an ad card, or an art card. Many of these slots have a variety of odds of what may or may not appear within them, and any of these slots may contain quote-unquote booster fun. So what exactly does that mean? Well, booster fun is just a term for the alternate art treatments and extended arts that we've had for the past several years. There's actually pages and pages of breakdowns of the chances of getting what in which slot, but if I were to try and go over all of that in this video, it would take the entire video, and then some. For example, in slot 7, which could have an additional common or a list card, this is a 7 out of 8 chance, or 87.5%, that it will be a common, but 12.5% of the time, or an eighth of the time, you will get a card from the list, which of course has been reduced from 300 cards to now being 40 cards. And of those 40 cards, 30 of those cards will be common or uncommon, and 10 will be mythic rare. And these are of course reprints without new art. So thus the overall breakdown is 87.5% that slot 7 will have a common from the main set, 9.38% that slot 7 will have a common or uncommon normal reprint from the list, 1.56% that slot 7 will have a rare or mythic rare normal reprint from the list, and 1.56% chance that this will be a special guest card from the list. This is just me reading what they have listed for the chances of getting what in slot 7. Like I said, it's quite extensive, and for those interested in the complete statistical breakdown, I will link all of these articles in this video's description. I would like to take this opportunity to restate my belief that there is an overall issue with the convoluted nature of many Magic the Gathering products these days, and that the goal should be that you do not need PowerPoint slides and an extensive set of articles to try and explain just what is in a booster pack. But that actually brings me to the first and major upside to this change. Play boosters work to simplify the product lineup of Magic the Gathering. Previously, we had 4 types of booster packs: draft booster packs, set booster packs, collector booster packs, and jumpstart booster packs, which were themselves a kind of replacement for theme booster packs. But Wizards of the Coast has stopped releasing jumpstart booster packs with every set. Thank goodness, as they were a terrible product. Now that is not to be confused, of course, with actual Jumpstart booster packs, which was an excellent A+ product. Though, of course, many Magic the Gathering players were confused, which is why I'm glad that the set Jumpstart booster packs are discontinued, and hopeful that the regular Jumpstart booster packs will soon return. And now, with set Jumpstart booster packs gone, and draft and set boosters replaced with play boosters, there are only 2 possible booster packs. Play boosters, which serve as the default or regular booster pack, and collector boosters, which serve as the premium. I still don't like collector booster packs, or more specifically, I don't like how much collector booster packs cost, and I'm also not a big fan of the unfocused types of artwork you can get, foil treatments. It's just, again, too convoluted. I think it should be streamlined, and it's something I go over in great detail here. But even though I am not the biggest fan of collector boosters, I am a huge fan of just having 2 booster packs, a regular booster pack and a premium booster pack. This is a good thing. To me, besides of course the fact that they can be drafted, this is the biggest positive of play boosters, a simplified booster pack marketplace. I still might wish the contents themselves were more streamlined, a wish I have for collector boosters as well, but going from 4 possible booster packs to only 2 solves a lot of the problems that set boosters and Project Booster Fun created in the first place. That actually brings me to this video's thesis on play boosters. Well, I feel that play boosters are, yes, the correct move by Wizards of the Coast to fix many problems created by set boosters and Project Booster Fun. This is a stopgap measure, an attempt to plug a wound that Wizards of the Coast inflicted upon itself. The introduction of play boosters is not some great celebration. It is damage control. This is not like the unveiling of some exciting new product designed to dazzle and to offer something cool and new. It's a course correction, a critical course correction to one of the many dramatic choices and changes Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro have made to Magic the Gathering over the last 5 years. Mark Rosewater's article lists no fewer than half a dozen problems that set boosters caused, not to mention the many issues that they had to solve in order to make set boosters draftable. One of the many adjustments needed for play boosters is that Magic the Gathering sets will now be designed with 81 commons and 100 uncommons rather than 101 uncommons and 80 uncommons as they previously had been. This means that going forward there will be, by design, more uncommons than commons in Magic the Gathering sets. What effect will this have on limited environments like Draft and Sealed? What about the effect of multiple rares per pack? List cards? What about the effect of the rising cost of the very experiences play boosters are trying to protect? For that, only time will tell, but it is wild to me how dramatic these changes are to what is considered to be the very foundation of Magic the Gathering. Remember that quote from the beginning, Rosewater saying that if we didn't do anything, draft boosters were going away? This whole change was to save drafting and other limited formats. And again, I want to stress, Rosewater repeatedly clarified that he didn't mean to say that draft itself was ever in danger of going away, that it was far, far too important for them to ever consider getting rid of draft, and that the very fact they are replacing set and draft boosters with play boosters is a reflection of their strong commitment to draft. But there's a different aspect of this that I latched onto. If we didn't do anything, draft boosters were going away. But they are going away. Draft is not, and hopefully it never will, but draft boosters are going away. The fundamental product of Magic the Gathering since, well, is it fair to say since the Mirage set in 1996, the first set designed with limited in mind, and thus the first, you could say, had draft boosters? That's going away. Every action has a reaction, but that reaction is not always immediately felt. The introduction of set boosters has now led to the discontinuation of draft boosters. It took about 3 years, but the effect resolved. And again, I think this is the correct thing to do. I 100% think this is the correct thing to do given the options. I mean, you can't discontinue set boosters and only have draft boosters. There's just no putting the toothpaste back in the tube now. The best course of action is to make a new type of set booster that is draftable, and have that be the fundamental booster pack. And that is what they have done with play boosters. Will it work? Will it be worth it to buy? For that, we have to wait until Murders at Karlov Manor, but I certainly hope, very much so, that it will be, that it will work. I'm rooting for this. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think of play boosters? What do you think of the discontinuation of both draft and set boosters? Where do collector boosters fall into all of this? Do you draft? Do you go down to your local game store for pre-release? Let me know in the comments below. And you can help me out greatly just by watching yesterday's video on how to get better and how to do a better job when taking a mulligan. We've put an enormous amount of effort into it, and while it may not be a hot topic video like this one, I feel it is one of the best we've made in a long time. So check that out here or listed in this video's description. And remember, whether you are buying play boosters, collector boosters, or perhaps just the singles you need to build the decks you want to play, when it is reasonable to do so, try and spend that money where you spend time playing this great game, and that is at your local game store. It's one of the only places, if not the only place, to participate in amazing events like draft and pre-release, something you should look into if you haven't already.
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play, Kisses and Hugs.
Today, Aaron Hansen picks the format. What did you choose for us today, Aaron?
Under $50? This is Ogdus the Dragon's Lash.
Hi, I'm Spencer Crittenden, Akeem the Soaring Wind.
My commander is Volrath the Fallen.
Hi there, I am Talia Vez, Yargle, and Multani.
Ah!
What?
Yargle! What do you live in a glen?
No, well, maybe.
Kind of.
This is a hard decision.
I don't think it is, just hit me.
Yeah, you're right. It's not a hard decision.
What?
You haven't seen the station agent?
He has a hat!
Oh, he doesn't have a hat.
Does anyone want to cut me?
Absolutely.
Not that way, but after the show we can talk.